All right, we got PWI came out with their Tag Team 100 list this week. We're just listing the top 10 here. So we got Usos, FTR, Briscoe Brothers, Lucha Brothers, Double Crazy, I don't even know how to pronounce that first one, RK Bro, The Good Brothers, Young Bucks, The Hex, and Violence is Forever.
Not mad at it. Any notables we missed or that were left off, Chris?
Anybody that you really liked in the top 20?
I didn't even see
the top 20.
I didn't even see the whole list.
Yeah, nah.
Look, this is. I mean, the Usos are not. This is where you ride along the tribal chief's coattails. The Usos are not the best tag team of the year.
They are.
No, they're not.
They are.
No,
Chris, you ready to sit back?
Name a match they've had better than FTR or the Briscoes or the Lucha Brothers.
Name a match they've had better.
They've literally just been in the best storyline in WWE.
Hey,
that doesn't make you tag team of the year.
You're going off credentials. You're going off opponents.
What's the criteria for this list?
Everything. Well, I was going off whatever the criteria was from the last list we did.
This one is going October 1st of last year to September 30th of this year.
Nope, still don't. Time frame wise, they weren't better than FTR.
They've had as many TV matches as FTR had matches altogether.
But that's not FTR's fault.
Then you can't put them at top if it's not FTR's fault.
FTR has been better than them.
They haven't even booked on their own promotion.
With less TV time, FTR
they haven't even been booked on their own promotion. Blame TK. Usos are number one.
What have the Usos honestly done to be number one? Honestly,
longest reigning tag team champs.
So just because you have the belts longer than anybody else, that makes you the best tag team of the year.
They call it every night. They the ones.
And FTR the twos.
But FTR has been champs in 3 different promotions all year long.
And only had 34 matches.
Again, that's not on them. But out of those 34 matches, they haven't had.
You want to be the best tag team in the world. You want to be the best tag team in the world. Wrestle.
They haven't had one dud.
Wrestle.
They have wrestled 34 times. And every time they wrestled, it's been a classic. What are you talking about?
Usos have done it 34 times on TV alone, not counting dark matches, house shows. They're there day in, day out.
So is FTR. That's not their fault that they're not being put on TV each week.
And that hurts your case. It
doesn't hurt your case.
It does. You're losing number one contender matches. That hurts your case.
How many matches have the Usos wrestled?
How many matches?
How many matches have the Usos wrestled?
34 on TV alone.
They haven't been on every pay-per-view. How many matches have they wrestled for this time frame? From October till September, how many matches have the Usos wrestled, Jay?
On TV, 34 alone.
No. Total. How many times have the Usos wrestled?
I'm not counting. I'm not going through all the house shows that count.
TV pay-per-view. How many times have they wrestled?
Pay-per-views?
I don't know.
Are you asking me how many times they've had a match this year?
Yes. If you're saying that they've wrestled so much, how many times have they wrestled from October of last year to September of this year?
On TV and pay-per-views, 34 times.
Okay, how many matches has FTR had?
34.
So they both wrestled 34 matches?
No, the Usos have wrestled 34 on TV and pay-per-view. This is not counting house shows, dark matches.
We're not counting house shows and dark matches.
Well, they count. That goes along part of your reign. That counts.
So then you need to count all the FTR matches in New Japan.
Only 34. Only 34.
In London and everywhere else.
Only 34.
Mexico.
Only 34. Else. Only 34.
So again, Your argument's still not making any sense to me. You're saying the Usos have wrestled 34 times on TV.
Just on TV.
So how many more matches have they had, including pay-per-views?
Probably at least 80 more. 100. They're wrestling every night.
80 pay-per-view matches?
Pay-per-view.
There's 12 pay-per-views for WWE?
That's including pay-per-views. 34 including pay-per-views and TV. 34 matches.
34 matches for pay-per-view and TV.
Yes.
And FTR has also wrestled 34 matches.
Yes. Alone. Just 34 matches. That's all their matches.
So Jason is saying FTR just wrestled 34 matches totally. That's including pay-per-views and everything around the world. Totally in that year span, 34 matches. And he's saying the Usos just on TV and everything has been on TV and wrestled 34 times.
He said TV and pay-per-view 34 for the Usos.
Yes.
During that period.
And FTR has wrestled 34 matches.
Total matches.
Total.
He's not counting in anything extra for the Usos.
I see what Steve's talking about too, saying that even though they wrestled at least amount of times, they had better matches.
No, it's not. If you want to compare the teams, house shows are house shows.
And they
AEW doesn't do house shows. So of course the Usos are going to wrestle more, but they don't count house shows towards the criteria for the list.
It counts as long as your wins. It counts as long as your reigns.
They don't. If you're going to do apples to apples and you're comparing the tag teams, and both tag teams have wrestled 34 times, FTR has been better than the Usos. No. Who cares if they wrestled Riddle and freaking Elias 17 times on the Florida house show loop? What are we talking about?
It counts.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't make them a better tag team because you're beating the same team 12 times in the Florida Panhandle outside of the Florida freaking Keys. What are we doing here? The Briscoes have wrestled more than the Usos. What do you mean, no? If you count every single match they have all across all promotions, if you're including house shows, the Briscoes have wrestled more than the Usos.
Doubt it. Highly doubt it.
And they've been better than the Usos, too.
No.
The Usos, to me, I'll put them third on this list. Like, I don't even know how this is a debate. You WWE flag waving stew-knots of a stooge.
Says the man that created this debate for the week.
It's a debate.
I don't know how this is a debate. Why are we doing this debate?
You're the FDR stooge. For you, Dax Wheeler is the best wrestler in the world and been on his back every match he's wrestled.
They're the best tag team in the world. They've held the belts in 3 top promotions around the world for the entire year. That trumps the WWE.
It doesn't.
Little bubble that they're in.
It doesn't.
It 100% does.
Those titles mean nothing.
So you want Usos to show up tonight and take the NXT tag titles?
The IWGP tag team titles mean nothing. The AAA tag team titles mean nothing. And the AEW tag team titles mean nothing. Plus the ROH belts. Those all mean nothing.
They mean nothing right now. No.
So
they're not being defended. What do you they're not being defended. You're getting one match a year for the belts.
They've defended them in other promotions. Just because they haven't been defended in AEW doesn't mean they're not defending them. They couldn't go over to Japan. Japan just opened back up. So they've gone over there and wrestled in Japan and put on bangers. They've wrestled in London with bangers. They've defended in Mexico with bangers.
And Usos haven't put on bangers?
Not to the degree FTR has. There's no Uso match better than the FTR match this year. Not one. Not one.
My best.
And if you say Usos and Street Profits, I'll give you FTR and the Briscoes, and that's an enclosed statement.
Don't lose your team.
Shut down.
You have to wait to the end of the year awards for that team.
I might drink on my own.
The only thing I don't agree about this top 10 is number 7, because everybody knows how I feel about number 7.
You need to take your own personal biases out of it. Your hate.
Yours too.
It's Steve.
You're gonna champion FTR
personal
everybody.
biases, and he's sitting there saying, "Take your personal biases out of this shit."
I have stats to back it up.
I can watch an FTR match and see a tribute to Bret Hart every time, and care less about it. You love it. I don't know. That's you.
What are you? I'm watching the match for the match, not to pull out the tributes. They haven't wrestled a bad match all year.
Neither have the Usos.
Come on, dude. You're wrestling the street.
I haven't heard anybody talk about how the Briscoes are number 3 and they have only been on 3 matches on TV in 2022.
Because they've only been on that's pay-per-view.
Okay. Who's watching?
But you're counting everything, like Jay said. You're counting everything. So you look at everything they've done with GCW, with HOG, everywhere else that they've wrestled and who they've wrestled. Yeah, the Briscoes are number 3 on the list.
I'd put the Good Brothers over FTR.
I'm glad a female tag team made it on number 5.
Didn't even know.
Yeah. They're from Stardom.
Okay. I mean,
but it doesn't count because they don't wrestle in WWE. Or on the WWE house show loop. This fucking guy is crazy. Dude. Unbelievable.
So technically number 10 is as well, because they're referencing, or number 9, sorry. Because that's Allysin Kay and Marti Belle. So 2 females on the top 10.
I wouldn't expect that.
No, because they've only been on NWA, but they don't wrestle on USA
No, because I've seen Marti Belle wrestle
on Monday and Friday, so they don't
expect her to be top 10. Sorry.
Are we ready to drink now?
They wrestled in my backyard. Count it.
According to you, it did because hey, we're counting every house show loop match for the Usos. Just because you're tied to the hottest thing in pro wrestling and Roman Reigns, and the storyline drives you to hold the belts because
work rate counts until it counts.
Is. They didn't out wrestle FTR this year. There's no way you can line up match for match and say they out wrestled FTR this year.
I think we just got to open up the forbidden door and have it happen.
It already happened, and they left.
So because they went elsewhere, that makes them less?
No, hey, the match already happened. You know who won?
They won all the belts in WWE that they needed to win.
Your pick's invalid too.